What is flat Earth? Part 3, the conspiracy. Flat Earth is the belief that the Earth is not a spinning ball in space. If you measure water, you can't find water to be curved. If the Earth is a sphere, like the government says it is, then it's a sphere at 25,000 miles in circumference. And nowhere on this Earth can you find water to be curved. Water is flat. Water is level. And water is not convexing or conveying to a spinning ball. So water is flat Earth's smoking gun. So now we have ourselves a good old-fashioned conspiracy theory. And like all conspiracy theories, we are questioning the information coming from our government. So our government says one thing, and the thing they're saying doesn't add up. There's just not enough proof. So in 1958, NASA was created, and ta-da! Now we have pictures of this Earth. In 1972 were the first pictures of this spinning ball Earth. And yet, the pictures didn't show the Earth to be spinning. In 2002, and then in 2012, that same picture was redone, and the guy who did the picture said it's photoshopped, and it has to be. And they say it has to be because your eyes can't download those images. Your eyes can't download the light refractions of outer space. You have to take the frequency of the image and change it using a computer in order to see the image. They admit that. They say that. They do the same process with the pictures of the Earth. They take pixels and then they Photoshop it together. So they have no proof of curvature, and then they also say the Earth is spinning, and it's spinning 1,000 miles an hour. Now, this is another situation where they have no proof. They say it's theory. Einstein came along and said, just assume the Earth is moving. This is called special relativity. Again, there's no proof that the Earth is spinning. So they have a model and they have a theory and they call it science, so therefore it's fact. They'll even say science is theory.
You have to understand what it means for something to be a theory. There's a lot of misunderstanding about that. If you have a new idea and you want to test it, that's a hypothesis. If there's countless objects and phenomena out there that have conduct or behavior that can be brought under one umbrella of understanding, and that umbrella of understanding allows you to make predictions that are then shown to be true, then you have a theory.
Just call a theory a fact? Did you just do that?
We need to get something straight. Evolution by natural selection is a theory. So is climate change. And theory is not a four-letter word. If we're going to trust science together, the least we can do is speak the same language. Words like fact, theory, hypothesis, and law mean something totally different to a scientist than the way they're used in everyday speech.
They say theories are facts if theories have weight to them, if they have things that make it true. But they don't have anything that makes it true. They don't have curvature. There's salt flats on this world that just don't have any up or down. From left to right to up and down, there's no differentiation in height on these salt flats. They're just too flat. You would have to have 8 inches of curvature every mile and then 8 inches more squared every mile to fit their 25,000 miles in circumference. They just don't have any proof of curvature. They also don't have any proof of motion. They just say, assume it's moving. And they say it's undetectable because of relativity. There is another model. There is another system. It's called geocentrism. Geocentrism is flat Earth. But flat Earth is just the natural observation that the Earth is not a spinning ball. It does imply that it's not in the sky. Then there's no universe. There's no space pictures. There's a firm barrier above us. There's another dimension. There's a water barrier above us. The Bible calls this the firmament. There's probably another dimension and another thing below us, but it's life itself. It's a creation. It's not a universe. It's a existence. It's a to appear. What do we appear in? We appear in a God's mind. This worldview is based off of a God system. There's a God, there's a creator. Now, the ancients didn't always attribute that to a Yahweh God or a Jesus God, but they did attribute it to gods. You don't have to worship the Jesus God or the Yahweh God to be a geocentrist or a flat earther, but you do have to recognize a creator. That's what they're hiding. The heliocentrism replaces God as God itself. It's just a form of evolution. It's just saying the earth comes from itself. And then that seed then produces a new kind of seed, a new species. It evolves into a new species. God, by using the creation, and it creates a thing called death, and it ruins life, and it's terrible. First and foremost, it ruins your mind, and it makes you stupid. They think they're smart, and we're going, hold on a second. You're calling level curved. You're calling the horizon curved. We use words to mimic what things are. We look out at the vanishing point of perspective where we can't see any farther, where the sky meets the sky or the sky meets the water, and we call it the horizon, a horizontal line. We call the seas level. We call level flat, no higher point on either side. If we did live on a ball, it would be the level place within the ball. And then you would be able to know that over here is curved because of the ball. Because on their ball, we live in and out of the center of mass. And mass is the center of the ball with the north at the top and the south at the bottom. And then it's rotating and in and out of that mass. And then they say the physics prove that, but it doesn't. You measure over a flat piece of paper. You measure straight lines off of north. And then off of north, you plug everything in, and then south is just the circumference. And you measure off of a flat plane. You don't calculate for curvature. You don't use curved lines when you use maps. If the earth was a ball, you would have to calculate for in and out of the center of mass. You would have to use a curved line. You wouldn't use a straight line. Straight line implies a plane. Water is the plane, and the earth comes out of that plane, and it's three-dimensional. The water is a two-dimensional plane, and it's a two-dimensional existence that also has a three-dimensional life. And then above us is another two-dimensional plane with a seventh dimensional heavens with the celestials. And then a fourth dimensional vanishing point and a way for us to archive time and have specific time within everything itself. But we appear in life itself in the dimension of the 0 and the 1 and the 0, the 1 and 2, which is the beginning and the end, which is the God, which is the creator. But we can't touch that creation. We can just mimic it. We can just reflect it. And people want to reflect it to themselves, so they use a fake God. They use a fake creator. They use a ball. You can't see all sides of a ball at once. You have to trust their science. You have to trust their pictures. When you look at the sun and you look at the moon, you don't see all sides of that sun and that moon. There is no proof that that's a sphere. Because it's a circle doesn't mean it's a sphere. You're looking at something that's two-dimensional. You only see one side of it. You're only seeing one dimension of it. You're not looking into a third-dimensional plane. You're looking into a two-dimensional plane when you look up into the sky. You were in a third-dimensional perspective, but then the fourth dimension comes in from a different vanishing point, and you can only see it at certain connection points. And then when it's not in your connection point, you can't see it. And people want to control the meaning and the value of the things we see and the things we do, so they hide it from us. And they steal it from us by giving us a picture. And then that picture distributes meaning. That picture distributes value. NASA has brought in over $1 trillion to send people to outer space, to colonize space with nothing to show for it. And people go, yeah, I want that. From both political sides, they go, yeah, I'm okay with that. And people are going, hey, let's look into the fact that maybe they're not going there. Maybe they're faking it. The rocket ships go up and then they curve and then they go out to the ocean. There's no proof that these astronauts get into these rocket ships. They're Freemasons, and Freemasons do plays to distribute value. They take symbolism and then they do a play to then beam that symbolism to you so value comes from them. So they can create a dream state in your mind, and then we live in their dream state. Now, this is hard for people to understand because they might not do this. If you get an A in school and everybody else gets an A and you get mad at that, you're like them. If you get an A in school and everyone gets an F and then you get happy, you're like them. That's what it's about for them. They think they're better than other people and they want to distribute value, but value's already given to us and life's already given to us. So now they got to play a game so it feels better for them. They want to feel better than other people, so they got to play a game. But they're not good at basketball. They're not good at acting. They're not good at music. So then they got to bankroll music, and then they got to make money worthless. So then you have to do their new system of money, and then it can come back to them because they own the rules and they own the buildings, and then they can distribute life, and then they need to own the story in their mind in order to do this. And this conspiracy is the root of all conspiracies, to become God, to become creator. First, you got to hide it, and then you got to become it. God is outside of his creation. God is not his creation. They're telling you it is, and they're telling you they are God because the creation then is the creator. God is not. God has a flaw because he's not a part of his creation. God creates his creation, and then he beams it out of his mouth, and then it's its own thing. And then God can't touch it. He can't necessarily intercede into it. You can disconnect it from God. He has a flaw, and that flaw is us because we are disconnecting ourselves from God so we can't see it. And the governments do this by giving us a picture of the earth. It's called paganism. It's called star worship. And then they give it to heathens, which are self-worshipers, and that worship the earth. And now they're saying the earth is dying, and they're getting people to worship themselves through paying homage to the earth or paying homage to the stars. And then you worship through their system. It's called pantheism. All God in a one God system. And that system is government. To govern the mind. That's what government means. Demos, the God of the people. That's Democrat. That's what a Democrat is. They believe in putting their energy to a system to become God. And then that system will make people happy. That system will produce life. That system will change the problems of this world. And it's a lie. It's a lie that it works. And the conspiracy theorists are saying, we caught you because you don't have any proof that the earth is a spinning ball. We caught you doing other crimes as well. But this one is the one that sets you free. This is the one that traps you into all the other conspiracies. And if you can break out of this one, you can understand that we don't need them. We don't need them to govern our spirituality. We can distribute food, shelter, and water with each other without them. We do not need them. They told us the earth was a spinning ball and it's flat and it's not in outer space. There is no outer space. Everything's right here. Everything's right here. The earth is flat. And it's a conspiracy to control your mind, to become your God.